Hi everyone, my name is Jenny and welcome back to my creative space. Today's video is going to be a quick check-in. I am currently editing a reading vlog and that's just taking a little bit longer than I expected. So I wanted to do a quick check-in with you for this week, and then hopefully sometime this week that reading vlog will be up for you to see later on. But I'm going to do a bit of a December TBR, and it's not exactly a 10 before the end because I don't think I have 10 books, but we're going to go with the flow. December is a bit of a busy month for not only me, but for a lot of people in general. So I'm not holding myself too strictly to this reading list, but it basically is just a curated selection for when I want to mood read. But the first book that I have on this list is the 12th volume of the Apothecary Diaries. It is my current before bed read. I'm about 50% in, so I do estimate that I will complete that within the first week of December. The second book that I have is Kill the Beast by Sarah Swift. I've read 2 chapters of this and have quite enjoyed the mood of this book. And I think it is great to read during the end of the fall season. And I'm very looking forward to seeing how this all concludes and just the general vibes of the book, as I saw it comped as The Witcher and Howl's Moving Castle. And Howl's Moving Castle is one of my favorite Studio Ghibli movies, so I'm very, very much looking forward to this one. The next few are continuations of a series that I'm in the middle of, and the next book that I have is Don't Fear the Reaper by Stephen Graham Jones. I think 2 months ago I read the first book, which is My Heart is a Chainsaw, and I just need to get to reading and completing the series. This is the next one up, and I'm very excited to see where our adventures with Jade will go, because she is the main character in this trilogy, and I've just really, really enjoyed Stephen Graham Jones throughout this year, so I'm very much looking forward to continuing on with his work. The next book I have is The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. This is book 2 in the Raven cycle. I read The Raven Boys, I think in September, something like that. And I really enjoyed the vibe and just like how moody it was. And so I'm looking forward to reading this book. I think I might read the other 2 in the trilogy as well, just depending on how this ending book leaves off. I could complete the entire series in 2025, but we'll just see how much reading momentum I have this month. But this is a hopeful at least, and then if again I feel that momentum, I will be reading book 3 and 4. Another series continuation is Fallen Stars by Imani Iru. This book just came out. I got it this last Thursday. Yeah, I think on Thursday or Wednesday, something like that, my pre-order came in. So I'm very excited for this one. This is one of the few fan rows that I have really loved and enjoyed, and I can't wait to get into this book. And I heard that this one is a like kind of seafaring sort of fantasy vibe. I do love the Ship of Magic series by Robin Hobb. So hopefully, me and the water vibes really fit together. So the next few books I have are the beginnings of series, and the first book I have is The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. This book has been on my radar, and I did start it at the beginning of the year. I read about 100 pages, and then I paused because Amber had announced that she was being indie to trad published, so all of her books were going to be repubbed from the pub house that she was signed to. So I was just waiting for those editions to come out, and then also book 4 to be published this year. I think a lot of the times I see with Fanro, indie to trad publish, they're in the midst of their series, and then there's like absolute crickets about when the next book or the final book of their series comes out. So I didn't want that to happen with Amber, especially because I really, really enjoyed the 100 pages that I'd read when I first started this. I was just crossing my fingers, and thankfully she delivered, and the pub house actually published the final book in this series, I think last week. Not entirely sure what the title is, but there are 4 books. From what I read before, I did really enjoy, and I am going to refresh myself on that first 100 pages. The basics of it are pretty fresh in my mind, and I do remember all the characters that we were introduced to, but good to jog my memory and just remember where exactly I left off at, and I can't wait to read this series, and I think it could be a new fave fan row for me. The next book I have is The Jasad Heir by Sarah Hashem. This book was kind of resold to me when I watched an Olivia Read the Latte vlog, and then recently Stephanie from Stephanie Bookish did a reread and posted a vlog on it, and I just like their enthusiasm. They talked about this being a very politically heavy fantasy, and I really like political fantasy. Some of my favorite series that are very political leaning is the Daevabad trilogy, and then also the Greenbone saga. Those are very politically heavy books for me, and those have been some really favorite series of mine. And then this one also has like a secondary romance that's very slow burn. That really sold me as well. Yeah, really excited for this one and just to see what the whole politic conversation in this one is. And also, it's nice the fact that this is a duology. And then the last book that I have on my list is Night in the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I've not read from Rachel Gillig before, but my friend Michelle sent me this book for my birthday in September, and very, very thankful for Michelle. She also has a YouTube channel. I will link that down below so you can watch her chat and yap. Love how long her vlogs are, stunning, amazing, and she is just such a wonderful person. So I do thank her a lot for sending me this book. I've heard so many good, positive things about this one. I heard some mixed things about the first duology from Rachel, so I did not pick that up. But this one has like that medieval night core, and I know that has been really popular recently. I just read not Six Deaths of a Saint. I read The Second Death of Locke, and that one is like a medieval night core kind of vibe, and I gave that like a 5-star when I read it. Very much loved that energy, and this one has a more like slow gothic vibe and energy, but it does have like that night core. Obviously, night is in the title, but yeah, very much looking forward to this. And this is the first book in a duology. I think book 2 comes out next year, so hopefully I do love this and I can recommend that to you guys. Or I'm pretty sure most of you have already read this, so hopefully I love this one. And if anything, it's a beautiful, beautiful cover. I really enjoy that. And like, look at the foiled page there, or foiled hardcover there. And then the end pages have these beautiful moth and sword motifs. Very stunning book, and very much looking forward to that. And because it is a gothic book, I think that's perfect for the weather being cool and gloomy as we get towards the tail end of fall and into winter season. So those are the books that I plan to mood read throughout the month of December. If you do count the last 2 books in the Raven cycle, it actually does add up to 10. Will I read all 10? Who knows? So hopefully I get some reading vlogs out for you reading some of these books here, but I know for sure I will have a reading vlog sometime this week reading The Strength of the Few, and hopefully you enjoy that. But this is my quick catch up with you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to leave a comment down below, please let me know what are the books that you want to read before the end of 2025. I would really like to know. And if you don't have anything else to say, let's put some sword and moth emojis or butterfly emojis. I'm not sure if there's a moth. You can put either a moth or butterfly, whichever you have, in the comments below to let me know you're here. I hope you enjoyed this little check-in, and I will see you in my next reading vlog. Bye!